Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're just getting into Python, you are in for a treat. Today, we're taking a first look at the awesome new command line shell that's now built right in. It's a massive upgrade, so let's just dive straight in. So, are you just firing up Python for the very first time? Feeling your way around that command line? Perfect. This is for you. We're going to walk through the fantastic new features that make the interactive shell one of the best places to learn and experiment. For a long, long time, the default Python shell was, let's be honest, pretty bare bones. But that has all changed. We've gone from this very basic prompt to a full-blown coding environment with things like color highlighting and real multi-line editing. Let's break down what that actually means for you day to day. And really, you should think of these new features as your first set of coding superpowers. They're specifically designed to make your life easier, especially when you're starting out. So you can focus on what's important, learning how to code. Okay, so what's in this new toolkit? Well, first up, you get automatic color highlighting. This sounds small, but trust me, it makes your code way easier to read at a glance. Then there's true multi-line editing. No more freaking out when you spot a typo in a function, just use your arrow keys to go back and fix it. You can also easily browse through your command history. And, my personal favorite for anyone learning, a safe paste mode. This is a game changer. And getting to these superpowers couldn't be easier. It's all about your function keys. F1 pulls up Python's own built-in help system. Super handy. F2 lets you browse your command history. And F3 turns on that amazing paste mode. Here's a pro tip for you. Anytime you copy a block of code from a tutorial online, hit F3 first, paste the code, and then hit F3 again to turn it off. This tells Python to treat it all as one single block, which will save you from so many weird errors. Okay, so you've been playing around, writing some code. How do you get out? It's literally this simple. Just type exit or quit and hit enter. You don't even need the parentheses. It's just another one of those small, friendly touches that makes this new environment so great. All right, let's tackle a topic that scares every new programmer: errors. You know, that big block of red text that looks super intimidating. But the new shell is designed to help you, not to scare you. You got to think of errors as just a normal part of the learning process. So when your code breaks, Python gives you this thing called a stack trace. Now, don't let the technical name intimidate you. Seriously, all it is a map. It's a report that shows you exactly where in your code the problem happened. It's like a big red X on a treasure map, pointing you right to where you need to dig. It's your friend, not your enemy. You know that feeling when you run something and it just hangs? Or you realize halfway through typing that you've made a huge mistake? There's a universal escape hatch. Control-C. Hitting that sends a signal that basically tells Python, hey, stop what you're doing right now. Behind the scenes, it raises something called a keyboard interrupt, but all you need to know is that it gets you back to a clean prompt. The interactive shell is awesome for playing around and testing little snippets of code, but sooner or later, you're going to want to save your work in a file. We call that a script. So let's look at how you can run these scripts from your terminal. So how do you run these scripts? Well, it's a little different depending on your system. If you're on a Mac or Linux, you can make your script directly executable. You just add this special line at the very top, it's called a shebang, and then you run a quick little command chmod to give it permission to run. If you're on Windows, it's even easier. The Python installer takes care of everything for you, so you can usually just double-click your .py file to run it. Okay, this is where it gets really fun. You don't have to live with the default settings. Python is super customizable, and taking a few minutes to set up your environment can make you way more productive and just make coding more enjoyable. Just imagine this. What if every single time you open Python, your favorite tools and libraries were already imported for you? Or maybe you have a few helpful functions you always use, and they're just there, ready to go. Well, you can absolutely do that. And setting this up is actually super straightforward. There are just two steps. First, you create a normal Python file with whatever commands you want to run. Then, you just have to tell your computer where that file is by setting an environment variable called Python startup. After that, it'll run automatically every time you start an interactive session. Okay, but what if you want to go even further? That startup file only runs when you're in the interactive shell. What if you want some code to run every single time Python does anything, whether you're in the shell or just running a script? There's an even more powerful way to do that. Well, for that, there's an even more powerful tool, a special file called usercustomize.py. Python is hardwired to look for this specific file in a special folder, and if it finds it, it runs whatever code is inside every single time. So
where does this magic file live? You don't have to guess. Python will tell you exactly where to put it. Just open up your interactive shell and type these two things. First, import site, and then site.getUserSitePackages. It'll print out the exact path to the folder you need.
And that's literally the last step. Once you find that folder, you just create a new file inside it named usercustomize.py. You can put any code you want in there, and it will basically become a permanent part of your personal Python setup. How cool is that? All right, let's do a super quick flyby of everything we just covered. The big takeaway is that your default Python shell is now incredibly powerful and colorful right out of the box. F1, F2, and F3 are your new best friends for help, history, and pasting. Remember, errors aren't scary, they're just maps pointing to the problem. You can run your scripts directly from the terminal, and maybe most importantly, you have the power to customize Python to work exactly the way you want. So, that really just leaves one question. Now that you know you can do all this, what's the first thing you're going to customize to make your Python environment truly your own? Thanks for tuning in.